Hey guys, how you doing? Dan Freitag here from Foster the People podcast. Today, it's going to be an exceptional story. I got a fine man here, Jonas Menarde. Menarde, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I can't remember my own damn name half the time, but he's from the Mass Empowerment Project, and I really just wanted to get Jonas here to tell us more about your story, how you got involved, and what made you start the Mass Empowerment Project.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
Yeah, cheers,
Pleasure.
man.
Cheers. Yeah. I don't know what it was about just the way that I've saw the world ever since I was really young, but I'm 51 years old now. And when I go back to like where all of my politics came from, it all goes back to when I was very young. Like for some reason I was just always interested in it when nobody else really cared.
Right.
Like for me, in 5th grade, Ronald Reagan was running against Walter Mondale, and I remember that campaign as a 10-year-old. And like we did in I was in 5th grade, and they did like a presentation in the school auditorium, where each one of us in 5th grade, we were given a state, and we were the electoral college.
Nice.
And like I had to go up and say, I'm giving my electoral votes to Ronald Reagan. I'm giving my electoral votes to Walter Mondale. And if you remember that particular election, Reagan absolutely annihilated Walter Mondale.
Yeah.
And it was all about Geraldine Ferraro, and we were going to have our first female vice president, and none of that worked because
it wasn't ready.
Yes, because Reagan was like a demigod at that particular point. Nobody was going to beat him. He was everybody's dream candidate, and he was my dream candidate. As
it's everybody's. I mean, most people, but there's only a few that might say negative things about
Absolutely. I'm
him.
10 years old, and it was awesome because I was given the state of California. And anybody that knows anything about the electoral college knows that California has the most electoral votes. So I was so proud when I walked up and said California is giving their electoral votes to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. So
you had that one in the bag, so that was the initiation.
Yeah, so that was my initiation into politics. And then, you're a kid, you're doing your thing. But then I was really super involved in the 1992 George H.W. Bush versus Bill Clinton. I'm 18 years old, and Ross Perot.
Okay, Ross Perot, yeah.
And Ross Perot blew my mind. I couldn't stand George H.W. Bush because I saw what he had done. I had seen the evil already there. Bill Clinton was being like portrayed as like this Hollywood darling. He's on Arsenio Hall playing his saxophone. I'm the coolest dude in the world. I'm Bill Clinton, whatever. But Ross Perot was this little guy from Texas with this really strange voice.
Yeah.
But the thing about him is he was 100% telling all of us the truth about everything. Like when he would get on stage, he was so authentic. When he was dissecting NAFTA and all of that stuff, and I'm talking about this as an 18-year-old to adults who are voting. And I'm like, we have to be voting for Ross Perot. You can't vote for either one of these two people. They don't care about you at all. They're just playing a game. And it was so easy for me to see at 18 years old, so I carried that with me through
next
all the other ridiculous stuff that happened over the next, how far out are we now? 25. So 33 years
of
decades. Political consciousness, thanks to Ross Perot.
Yeah.
So in 2016, after me talking about it for years, I'm finally like old enough where I could start thinking about, should I run? Since I see all of this stuff going on, should I run as an independent? So I started a campaign in 2016, Jonas Menarde for president. And I did a town hall meeting where I outlined everything about how we could change things if we work together instead of allowing these entitled characters on screens tell us how we're going to live and how they're going to take our money and then go use it to blow up children around the world.
That's
like
insanity.
That's like the biggest insult to my soul. Like it led me to things like why taxes should be completely eliminated, because right now we have the capability to make all of those payments voluntary.
We do, but I think the problem is a lot of people wouldn't step up to that. And I think we do have to have a little bit of taxes. I mean, especially for our schools.
Local.
Local stuff for our schools, for, I don't know about our roads, because our roads are here effed up, but schools, let's be honest, firefighters,
Absolutely.
people, sheriff's office, police, we got to take care of those.
But I completely agree with you. But this is what I'm saying. We have the technology right now.
Oh, we do.
That we could directly fund those. Instead of saying, like, maybe you think your local fire department is running they're being shady on the side and taking money on the side. You could be like, I can't fund that.
Right.
This other group over here is doing their job properly. I'll fund that. And you as an informed person, instead of we're just going to take these taxes and disperse them however we want. Right. You say, okay, I want an actual direct involvement on where my money's going.
I think you're 1,000% correct. I just feel like the average American, and we briefly spoke about this, they're not driven. They're not feel like they need to be involved. All right, and that's why you and I have talked about this. I think it's a mindset that the average person is just trying to get by to pay their rent, to pay their food costs, to pay for their car, to pay for their child to go to school. And they go, wow, to get involved in this, that's going to take more time. I mean, like we have spoken about, how many people will spend hours on their phone not really getting any education but entertainment value, where it used to be the TV, now it's our phones.
Oh, gosh. And
to me, like we said earlier, education is right at the tips. Anything you want to know about politics, gardening, business, real estate, whatever it is, if someone was just to spend that 15 minutes a day on one specific subject, it's going to multiply and multiply and multiply in 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road. And they'd be probably more intelligent than the average person in that field is.
Well, it's funny because when you mentioned that earlier on, I was like, well, and now that they've introduced AI, it really is taking it all to the next level. And I guess on a soul level, have been resistant.
We all.
And I have not used it. I have not even opened it up because I have a feeling that once I do, that it's going to become so addictive.
Well,
that it's going to be like. Phew.
No, I'll be honest with you. I'm just finding. You asked Josh, the producer, okay? These young kids, it's making their lives on so many things so much easier. Editing, promoting, marketing, okay? And if you do it correctly, it's going to make our world a lot more effective on time management skills. I mean, efficient 1,000%. I've learned recently, just in the little bit, like I said, when I do my walks in the morning on the beach, every morning I do try to do that, and some days are better than others, but I listen to something new. And my goal is to spend 30 minutes a day, either learn on motivational stuff, AI, stocks, real estate, whatever it is, something to get my mind going.
Right.
And like I said, when you're empowerment project, I think it's so correct that we need people like yourself to engage people in what our day-to-day life is, not just where we live at, who we hang out with. We got to get involved in other things that are going to change our world. And it's not just for us.
No.
It's for the younger ones, for our grandchildren.
Absolutely.
For our children coming up.
Well, you take the analogy, you can try to pull yourself up out of the mess individually. But if you have people jumping with you, Andrew Tate talks about it in a lot of his things. If you don't have a group of people that are on the page with you, pushing towards the same goal, you're not going to make it. You have to have support behind you. You have to have belief behind you.
You do.
And it can be as much as just the people in your family believing in you. Well, and a lot of people, I run into it all the time. When I talk about my stuff, my own family being like, yeah, I understand, but that's a pie in the sky dream, Jonas. That's never going to work. It's never going to happen.
Okay, but I mean, think about this. What you just said really made sense. Think about Elon Musk. Richest person in the United States. Why? Because he was smart enough to get the right team people underneath him to jump on the same bandwagon, to promote the same bandwagon, but their end game was they were getting attaboys. They were getting financial rewards.
Right.
They were getting recognition for doing something.
Right.
And the problem is, you and I, when we taught the people, they're just going, oh, you're out in left field. You freaking know what the hell you're talking about. But ultimately, you and I have seen it, that if we change just a little bit of ourselves, other things start trickling down, keep giving us more and more and more.
Oh,
you know? And I see it happen to people all around that get involved.
Well, when you originally said the average person doesn't this, well, we are. Your show is the Average Dan Show. I am just an average person
We
myself. I'm doing what I can do. I'm taking on a battle that I know a lot of other people won't take right now.
Right.
But because I have been so involved for so long, I have seen the crescendo of people all of a sudden waking up and asking questions. But you can go backwards in time. COVID woke up a ton of people.
Oh, it was a good thing.
Yes, it was a very good thing.
I mean, it was a bad thing, but it was a good thing. It was a
well,
combination of both.
it should make everybody a little bit mad at themselves for buying the bullshit.
Amen.
That's all.
But it was a scare tactic. Like
I
we agreed
understand.
upon.
But the nice thing was, because I've been around so long, not one member of my circle, we didn't wear masks.
I know. Well,
We didn't
we
get
were
vaccinated.
Most of us from Florida. I
Yeah,
mean, but there's
but
a lot of
the-
people that
but-
are forced to get vaccinated. Like my wife,
Oh yeah.
school teacher.
Yeah.
You have to have it. You've got to
crazy.
get it done. And now, guess what? I'm seeing more and more people having side effects.
Oh, absolutely. Well, most of us that were talking about it at the time were saying you're not going to see the effects of this for years because it's the delayed reaction. What's scary about those particular vaccines is how many people died within like 24 hours of taking
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's like, whoa, get out of here.
Well, honestly, I've got a dear friend of mine that I went to school with like 20 years ago. And Chris, love the man, he freaking got a flu shot.
Uh-huh.
Well, he got, God, I can't think of the word, meningitis? It was a disease.
Meningitis?
No, it was like a meningitis. It was a disease that actually made him paralyzed from the waist down. It's a rare one. All right. I apologize for not telling you what the actual name of the virus is, but it is a true virus.
Well,
it's a rare case.
I had spinal
He got-
meningitis when I was 3.
Okay.
So, and I know that does cause paralysis.
Well, that's it. My wife, she ended up getting meningitis, ended up having brain scar tissue because she got high fevers, ended up having seizures. Already had 3 brain surgeries. But like we said, it's the events in life that you really, some things you can't predict. You can't even try to fathom how to do it. All you do is when it happens, okay? Prime example, like let's just look at the hurricanes we had. We've had hurricanes all the time here.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see anybody board up. I didn't board up. We never in our wildest dream expected to be an ass whooping like it was.
Mm-hmm.
Until this day, if you walk down the beach on Gulf Boulevard, the houses look good up front. When you go in the back, the doors are still
Oh,
blown
yeah,
up,
there it
shit's
is.
all blown up.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like we're coming up here in another 3-4 months, and already this year, the temperatures are a lot warmer than they were last year.
Oh yeah.
So usually that means we got warmer waters. We're gonna have a
chance-
higher
oh.
chance. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna sit here and live in fear?
No.
No, but we're gonna be more programmed to take precautions.
Well,
Yeah.
be more prepared. You know what I mean? I have a tendency to worst case scenario everything. Worst case scenario, it's so that I know, okay, what am I going to do
True.
in worst case scenario so that I can handle it in the way that I at least believe I could because I've entertained the thought.
Yeah,
The thing is,
yeah.
a lot of people won't entertain the thought.
No, you're
Like
totally
right now,
correct.
the big one right now that nobody is really being honest with themselves about at all is that they are literally destroying the Federal Reserve note right before our eyes, and they are already promoting the replacements.
Oh.
It's like, and you know that if they're going to try and maintain control, because people in power, their main thing that they're trying to do is maintain control, they're not going to let you in on whatever it is that they are going to be transferring it to until after the collapse. Then they're going to come back and buy up your stuff for pennies on the dollar and say, come on, we got this new system. It's like, guys, you cannot be beholden to the same criminals that created our current situation.
I give you that 1,000%. But I think what it is, like I said, I feel like people are in their own little bubble.
Yeah.
And they don't want to really step out of that bubble because they feel, well, I don't know nothing about that. I can't say nothing about that. If I say something, somebody's going to bite me in the ass on it. Or, that does relate to me mentality, which I believe everything we do relates. And that's where I focus on foster the people, where I want to educate people to become more accountable. All right? The thing in life that I believe in is that there's three things in life we have to have. You got to have a roof over your head. I don't care where you're at. You got to, whether it's a tent, it's a freaking mansion, it's a mobile home. You got to have a shelter.
Right.
All right. Number two, you want to have electricity so you can keep your food. You can take hot showers. You can do things. You have lights. All right. And then we need food. The rest of the stuff is really, in a sense,
And clean water.
a plus. Yeah.
Yeah, you
clean
need the
water.
clean water to get the
Sure.
food.
Clean
You're absolutely
water.
right.
Yeah, you can boil it up. If you got electricity, you can boil it up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the way I look at it, but ultimately true. We need clean water. But what I'm saying is those are the basics in life. But
Yeah.
what I see is most people in today's society, okay, I'm 62 years old. I have consultation meetings with people. I have friends and relatives and business workers. Most people don't know nothing about finances. They
No.
don't understand how to make a money. They don't know how to save money. They don't know how to build a legacy. And they don't think about it. And the thing that scares me the most is the older we get, we're going to live longer. So what happens? You're going to end up maybe one day have a stroke. Have something where you're incapacitated.
Right.
You're not able to take care of yourself. I've had quite a few members of my family that way.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they were financially well off where they were able to support themselves.
Right.
They could either do it in their house by having nurses come in, or they were put into a nursing facility.
Right.
Now, let's be honest. If you don't have enough money, and right nowadays, you think about these.
Most people don't have money.
Oh, think about it. It's like $8,000 to $10,000 a month for a nursing home, for a decent nursing home. Do the math. That's $120,000 a year. If you're only making $40,000, $50,000 a year, you're not even saving 10%. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You're going to be living in the dumpster.
Right.
You're going to be eating cat food. People's going to be spitting on you, taking advantage of you. Unless you're one of the fortunate, maybe have a family member.
Well,
gonna
that's
pull
the
you
thing is,
aside.
it's really the thing is that becomes about the strength of family, not the strength of government processes.
True.
The government processes themselves are
Right.
the reason why the nursing home is $8,000 a
Oh,
month.
you know it.
If the governmental structure that put that together was not there, that nursing home would be comprised of people that live in your area
Yeah.
and care about the older people in that
Sure.
area and help through
Well,
things. And
but-
it would cost a fraction of what it currently
But here's
costs.
what it is. You got to realize because of the history of people taking advantage of it for corporate greed, which we are victims of right at this moment.
Absolutely.
Okay, think of all the prices on the food. Okay, how about the egg shortage?
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
Maybe we're gonna kill a chicken farm.
Yeah.
We're gonna burn this chicken farm to the ground over here, and then we're gonna charge you more for eggs.
Yeah.
Wake up! Like
It's corporate
it's funny
greed.
because every now and then I want to talk to the whole world. Wake up!
That's it.
Stop!
Yeah.
Drop it! Give them. I
Yeah.
give them the proverbial finger.
Yeah.
Can I say fuck?
You say whatever you
All
want.
right,
I
guys.
said, no, we're
Like
not living
I
in
promised my mom. It was so funny. My mom, she's like, "Listen, I know you're going on this show tomorrow, and I know how you are. Please, like, try not to swear too much." And I said,
No,
"Mom, this is
no.
to you, Mom. I'm trying my best, but I do want to tell them all to go fuck themselves."
Exactly. No, you're completely agree with it. Like I said, I get so fucking frustrated that there's so many intelligent people out there, but they just piss their lives away because they don't want to take time out to get just a little bit educated on the basics.
Well, yes, it's very hard to accept that maybe everything that you thought you knew you were wrong about, and everything that you were ever told from the time you were a kid was a lie. And because especially because people that you love told you those lies, and they said it unwittingly because they were lied to, and they believe it as truth.
100%.
I love is a lot. I have a love-hate relationship with this particular phrase.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Whoa! I'm like,
Yeah.
if you know it's fucked up, why are we not fixing it?
No, but well, here's what it is, okay? My brother made a perfect phrase. People don't change. Change changes people.
Yes.
So we wait till we're driving down the road here, and all of a sudden, whoa, something jumps out in front of you, so you swerve out of the way. That's pretty much the way our
You have
lives
to be
are.
forced out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And
And
that's
that's
the problem.
everybody's comfortable.
Everybody likes being flatlined. Everybody likes being, oh, well, you know, if I do that, it's too much. I can't tell you how many people we've sit down, business owners, and they go, well, how come my marketing sucks? How come I can't retain employees? I said, well, first of all, look at yourself. What are you doing? Are you finding ways to motivate these people to come work for you? Are you finding new ways to market your product? If I'm going to keep doing Facebook or keep doing Google Ads, and you're not actually sitting down and analyzing the analytics on it, you're doing the same thing.
Right.
So the whole thing is change. You've got to change in order to be successful.
Right.
All right? I mean, let's be dead honest about it, guys. I know a lot of people out there that are billionaires that hate their lives. I know a lot of people that are poor as F. And
I love their
life is great.
Absolutely.
So it's really,
No,
and
money's
people
not
freak
the-
out when people get, oh, it's not about the mindset. I swear the difference it is. If I wake up in the morning going, oh, my back, my head, this world sucks, Josh sucks, you suck, everybody sucks, what's it going to be? You're going to be like the world sucks.
Exactly.
But if I go like I do every morning, religiously. I get up every morning, take that 5 minutes, go, hey, thank you, good Lord, for giving me this moment to get out of bed, to be able to stand, to breathe, to do my own thing for the house, for the roof, for my wife, for my dogs. I just do like a 5, 10, 15-minute gratitude. Whatever I feel, and there's no right or wrong. It's just a way of appreciation for what we have.
Right.
And I think that's the first step that people forget about.
Well, and they say that in every single one of the spiritual, like every religion, every spiritual guru will always tell you that the key to all of it is gratitude.
Really
And where are you finding that gratitude?
Yeah.
And it's a wave. I know those times when I'm down and I'm not gratitude based.
Yeah.
And then I have those times where I feel like I'm just flowing so beautifully right now because I'm appreciating the moment that I'm having.
Exactly.
Like even right now, I feel great right now because I feel I really appreciate this conversation and where it's going.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I try to educate people with lots of the people is that, like you said, I've had a cousin who just said, fuck it all, kissed his babies goodbye, kissed his wife goodbye, went up to the bridge and jumped off. Why? Why? Was life that freaking bad? I mean, I don't give a shit what you did, unless no disrespect to people out, but if you were a pedophile and you did something really bad, I mean, I can see the guilt trip there, but I don't think in any other normal causes, unless you have a disease that you know you're going to die.
That's one.
You know, I mean, there could be a million excuses, but I always feel like you can make it through. You can find a solution. Now, I'll be honest, I would not want to have to sit in prison for the rest of my life either. You know, I mean, nothing against Bubba, but Bubba, I don't want to be your bitch. All right.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is, I would never put myself in that position in the first place.
Exactly.
All right. And once again, it's being accountable, knowing what to do, how to say it, and just getting more educated. And I'll be honest, I was a dropout. I dropped out of school in 10th grade, man. I never made it. I didn't think school was for me. And I still don't believe it. And I'll be honest, I talked to my wife, who's a teacher. She's always saying, you don't know what it's like to be a teacher. Yeah, I understand. But most teachers don't understand what it means to understand education in a way that you're making yourself better every single day. Your kids are getting better.
Well, yeah, that's where, there's a lot of successful people that do not send their kids to school because they understand that the real world teaches so much more. And if you're there as a engaged parent, you're guiding your children through those experiences.
Well, you just said the key word, an engaged parent.
Yes.
We got a lot of non-engaged parents out there.
It's another symptom of the same problem that we spoke about.
Yeah.
The breakup of the family was intentional. The last thing that the powers that be want are strong families, strong neighborhoods, and strong communities.
Yeah.
They need to break that apart. And our society has become so good to the point where you can live in a house with 5 people and not make eye contact with any of the 5 right now because of the devices that everybody's holding.
Exactly.
And that is the ultimate fracture.
But you know as well as I do, okay, let's be honest. You see it, you go out to dinner, you look around the restaurant, everybody's sitting right there. I try to do my own thing, and I'm not consistent on it. All right, we go out, you leave the phone in the car.
Oh,
You don't need the damn phone. You need to spend some time with the family, no devices. I know with kids that's hard to do because it's easy to shut up and take the damn device. But if we all would get in that habit, like you just said, to get more engaged as people, as parents, as
if I came in here right now and I did not turn my phone off and flip it upside down so that it's just there. Like it's not going to vibrate. It's not going to beep. I don't want to be bothered. I want to be in this conversation with you. You know what I mean?
That's it.
It would be disrespectful to everybody around. But
So
now it's become so accepted that you can have 8 people out to dinner, and at least 6 of them be on their phone, or flashing it back and forth at each other. Check that out. Check that out. It's
So why do you think that is? Where did we like lose that transition period from film? Because I look way back.
COVID was huge.
I think it's before that, man.
No, it was before that.
I want to say it's probably when the phones really came out. Maybe the 80s, 90s.
I didn't get a phone until like I want to say it was 01 or 02.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the time I was, but I know.
But then they were flip phones.
It seems like when the phones came out, we're at a time where everybody's got access. And now you got Facebook and you got Instagram and you got TikTok. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I scan it through it and some of the shit's good and someone's like, oh, God, this is bullshit. I mean, look at us. We're out here on this stuff. But the way I look at it is the only way for our society to be successful, we really have to practice on our communication skills.
Big time. Big time.
It ain't about texting.
No.
It ain't about freaking, it's looking you in the eye and going, hey, I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. Thanks, or hey, you effed up, Jonas, but we can solve the problem.
Right.
There's too many people, and I used to be that type of leader, was like, you fucked up, man. What the fuck was your problem? And I'm going, after you look back at that, nobody wants to hear that shit. Right. And your kids don't want to hear the shit. Yeah, your spouses don't want to hear the shit. And I still have that tendency to fly off like everybody else does. But if we can sit back and sort of ingrain into our man, looking in the mirror like I told you about Michael Jackson, look in that mirror. We're not perfect.
None of us are.
No.
And it's so ridiculous how many people try to pretend that they are.
Yeah.
It's funny, like I have people say, well, you think you just have the answers to everything because of this and that. I'm like, no, I know in my heart and mind 100% that I do not have the answers to anything.
Yeah.
But I am searching and sharing what I'm thinking with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's exactly
I'm
what it
not
is.
telling you to listen to me. I'm telling you to listen to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm listening to me and I'm sharing with you because I do believe that people that do listen to their higher self and are walking in purpose, acting in purpose, talking in purpose, I believe that leads towards a world that's worth leaving our children.
Now you said the key word, building a legacy.
Yes.
Because most people don't even talk about that. Okay, your legacy might be as a school teacher. Okay, but how is that going to benefit you? Or, hey, I'm a firefighter. But, unless you're really informing that and instructing them, showing them what your good deeds are, and you can't just like, oh, look at me. No. But on the other hand, you have to be able to encourage people to live a better life. And I think too many people are afraid.
I think it's about being conscious. And like you said, you have to be accountable.
Yeah.
You have to be able to judge yourself honestly without beating yourself up.
That's the hard part.
I have a tendency to judge myself harshly and beat myself up.
Yeah, I do
and
that
then,
too.
And then I feel self-defeated, and then I have to go through a process. Like I got to go down to the beach and go lay in the water for a minute, cleanse my soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I've been there too. It's like, what the hell? You sit here, you try to live and preach, and then you got someone just kicks you in the belly, man, or kicks you in the nuts, man.
It's your own idea inside of your head about what you think you need or should be. And if you're not meeting that spot inside of yourself where you're like, where you're looking at yourself from the outside, and you're like, I'm nowhere near where I thought I should be.
But you're improving, right? You're improving.
Well, yeah. Well, all
right, let me ask you this question, Jonas. Where do you want to see this movement of yours be like in the next 5 years? What would be a goal, or what would be you'd want to see visualized? Because I always tell people, you got to visualize.
Oh, I got a visualization for you.
So what are you thinking?
Well, this is what I would like to see start to happen. Right. And I would love to be starting it myself as soon as possible.
Okay.
Is I think that everybody should be or in the process of trying to reconnect with their family, make their family units stronger, make their communities and their neighborhoods stronger. This past Memorial Day, a few days ago, I tried to I took my grill down to the front of my driveway. I brought the coolers down to the front of the driveway, opened up the hatch of my car, and I was trying to like engage with the neighbors.
There you
Like
go.
invited everybody over. I'm cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks. I
There
got
you go.
chips and
There you go.
kids are running back and forth in the pool,
There you
playing
go.
in the street. But the whole idea of like, but not just to have a good time and this and that, but to talk about real stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that many people, everybody knows that as a country right now that we are doing this. A lot of people have a lot of hope in Donald Trump,
Yeah.
and I understand that hope. But I've also been paying attention too long, and I know that there are powers way stronger than Donald Trump that are pulling these strings.
Oh,
The
yeah.
same banks that own everything else also own Donald Trump. Donald Trump got to where he is in this world because of that system that exists. There's no
True.
way that he's going to take that system on.
Oh, well, I do agree with you to a certain degree on that, but I also believe that we're cleaning up a lot, or I should say Donald Trump's team are cleaning up a lot of garbage that we've had for the last
for sure.
100 years of crap that we should have implemented, like these tariffs. We're getting screwed on the tariffs all the time. Now, granted, that's going to be a little bit of an impact us immediately, but I think down the road, if we can maintain it, we're going to keep going. Then what about the Doge system?
Oh, I love
Come on,
the
that's
exposure.
where accountability comes into
yeah.
play.
And so what are we going to do to hold that accountable? In my opinion, you have to just go to shutting it down. I totally believe that if the message that I'm trying to send is heard, I 100% know that it will change the world for the better for every single person breathing on the planet,
Yeah.
including those people that are currently living off of the backs of everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
It will even be better for them. Like they might not see it right now because they're like they're afraid of losing what they think they have.
Well, that's true with all of us, ain't it?
But that's the thing, though. Once you, I think that once you get into what the mindset that it sounds like you're having, like imagine now you have all those rental properties, but if we shut down the Fed, I talk about shutting down the
Yeah,
Fed all the
yeah.
time, and the real way to reset the system so that instead of it giving more power to the banks, more
Oh,
power,
yeah.
it gives the power to the people, is you prosecute all of the banks for fraud because it's been fraud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You prosecute the IRS for extortion because and explain in detail in court so everyone understands just how fraudulent it is. And then those properties that you're making your mortgage payments on right now, you now own them free and clear, and here is your deed.
But then I respect that 1,000%, but then I go the other way. I go, okay, that'd be like me go, well, shit, every time we go out and do fire equipment service, you should just give it to me.
But you would sell that. You would just sell that in the free market.
Well,
and the
I
thing
mean,
is, you would be charging what you're charging. But since you already own all your properties,
Right.
the amount that you had to charge for the service that you're giving would probably be less. Plus, you'd have all that equity now. This is the way that I try to make the analogy.
Okay.
Is if you take the '08 collapse
Right.
and what happened to
Oh,
the
yeah.
market,
Oh, yeah.
and the fact that they threw all this money back at the banks to keep them all afloat, even though they all had committed fraud and they should have all went under.
Right.
Instead of bailing out the banks, what they could have done was they could have let all those banks go under.
Yeah, and start all over.
And then gave all those deeds that I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
When I say to you, Dan, this
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
deed for all your properties.
Right.
Now you actually have the working capital to go pursue the dream that you want to pursue.
Yeah, but I give you that 1,000%, but then I go back to the average person from like the Foster people, the average Dan show. They're afraid. Okay, you know how many people could buy a house right now? They go, oh, I can't afford a house. I don't know. No. Bullshit. You could literally go buy. There's government grants out there right now, and you won't be coming to me every year going, oh, my rent just went up $200. My rent just went up $150.
I would love for you to show me those grants because
I've got it all the
'Cause I
time.
need one.
As long as you got a 620 credit score, I can get you a house. Okay? And I know people that will get you in for like $5,000. They'll get you. I can't tell you how many deals I've turned in the last year on commercial $1 million properties. But they didn't take a dime out of my fucking pocket. And I got $50,000 to $150,000 in my pocket to freaking go do more properties.
I would love for you to show me that process.
I can do that in a heartbeat. I can do it with my eyes closed.
So let's do that
All right?
today.
Because the thing about it is, people are not educated.
Right.
And they're
Oh, I'm not.
afraid. Why? But why?
I'm not.
But why is that? It's because you're fear of the unknown.
Well, I don't know that it's not. I don't know that that's necessarily fear of the unknown. There, it could be. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. But I feel I've lived a life that has really just my mind has gone to different places.
Yeah.
Like my passions and what I know about are all in this direction, and that part I've neglected.
Well, see, that goes back to what we originally talked about.
An artist before, yeah.
No, I respect that. I can show you my jam room in here too, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love music. I play guitar, a little bit of drums, other thing. But honestly, dude, I'm gonna tell you this. What we talked about just a little bit ago. What are like the 3-4 things we need? A roof over your head. You always need a roof over your head. So why not make that your asset?
Yeah.
Okay, there's billionaires out there go, don't buy freaking real estate, rent it out. Okay, in a sense, they're correct. You know why? Because people look at that as not being an asset as more as a debt. You got to pay for the repairs. You got to pay for the insurance on the property. And it goes back to your government thing. I am so pissed on our government where I get the property. With my hard labor, my brain power, I fix it
Your
up.
hard work.
I do all the shit. I take care of the goddamn tenants. I do the repair work. But then when I sell the property, you tell me that's tax gains, and I have to give you 30% of that. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
They
you
have
know?
nothing to do with it at all.
Nothing. They
It's
didn't-
totally
yeah.
gangster. It's
It is.
the mafia.
It is,
My
but-
dad would call it the black hand.
Well, you know what it is? Because we lost, we the people.
Well, we lost it through apathy. We were the vast majority of the population has been asleep for a long time. Many of them have woken up over the last 20, 30 years. But previous to that, especially like with the way that they did the 50s, the 60s, the way that they social engineered those things right up until the hippie movement, and then they clamped it down, and then they commercialized the shit out of everything.
But you know what's
and they
all-
sold an illusion to people.
But you know what it is? Let's get down to the bottom line. It's all about all the dead presidents. It's greed.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants to make the money, but the problem is the average person doesn't know how to.
Well, it's really interesting
Because they go, I'm gonna go work for freaking this guy, and I'm gonna make freaking $25 an hour. Well, what are you doing to make yourself better? What's making yourself smarter? What's making you more valuable to the company? Oh no, I'm just doing my job. I get in here at 8 o'clock, I leave at 5 o'clock. The fuck? Anybody could do that. I go, you want to better yourself? You take up a career. I don't give a shit. It's digging ditches, freaking picking up dog shit, cleaning windows. You do that for yourself for 10 years, and you will have everything you fucking need.
Absolutely.
Too many people are afraid to be self-employed. Now, don't get me wrong, I need workers, so I'm not trying to say everybody's sick. But the average person doesn't even know about, tell you speaking, if you set up your own LLC, you could write pretty much 80% of that shit off. And you'll make more money at the end of the year. But everybody wants you to be on W-2. Once again, say your government can have control over that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the other paths to empowerment that I think that I'm still educating myself on, is the use of LLCs with trusts and separating yourself from yourself in order to engage in commerce.
Yep.
And one of the things that the Mass Empowerment Project has been talking about a lot lately, and I'm going to continue talking about, is alternative currencies.
Yeah.
If we all know that the Federal Reserve note is losing its buying power every day. We should be considering and possibly setting up the relationships where we can pay for those same things in a deflationary asset like Bitcoin.
See, I'll be honest with you. I don't like that either, because I'll tell you, did you see what DeSantis said today?
What did he say?
Florida, we are now going to allow you to use silver and gold to purchase stuff.
I love that.
Fuck that, man. I think it should go back to the old way. Dollar bills. Get rid of credit cards. Go back to freaking dollars. You ain't got a dollar in your pocket, you can't buy shit.
But it has to be. It has to be backed by the gold.
Well, no,
do
because
you know
the
about
gold-
the new
because-
Florida gold bag?
Yeah, but do you know the average person, I mean, the average is by the higher people way up? The gold is run by the big boys.
Absolutely.
It's just like the stock market's run by the big boys.
Absolutely.
The problem is, if I got $1 million in my pocket and you only got 10, guess what? I can buy a hell of a lot more. All right?
Yeah.
If I got a credit card, I could swipe all fucking day long. Who's going to stick around with, hey, man, I'm going to buy that car and here's these 30 bricks of gold? Nobody's going to fucking do that. Nobody's going to go with a steal. Nobody's going to do it Bitcoins. And to me, once again, they're tracking what you're freaking purchasing. If I have dollars, you can't track unless my fingerprints are on the bills.
Well, that's the thing is they're able to track Bitcoin transactions right now.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that people are still, when they make a transaction, converting it into dollars before they buy it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'll send you right now. We just did this interview, and it's right now 0.000001 Bitcoin is $100.
Right.
So I say, okay, I'm just going to send you that 0.0001 Bitcoin without the transfer into dollars and then over. That's why a lot of the crypto guys that were super into it, they talk about the fact that this is the new currency. Like everybody's trying to guess what's going to be the currency that replaces the dollar.
But don't you think ultimately they're going to try to tag it on that? Because
they're 100% going to create their own.
Because right now, think about this. By federal law, as we see it, if you make over $600, whoever pays you is supposed to be sending into the government a 1099.
Oh, I know.
All right? So Bitcoin, hell, you can make it because it goes up one day. You can make $100,000. Guess what, my friend? That goes against your profit for them when you file your tax returns. That's 30% now that you have to pay on that. But see, the average person doesn't say, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to finance it through the banks. I'll be in debt $100 million. But guess what? You can't tax me on shit because all my shit is assets, and I'm going to be writing it off. I'm going to be fucking writing it off here, taking it here. Yeah, I'll pay my 10, 15%, 20% as I have to keep things going. But when you got tracking my shit, like everybody's just,
that's why you can't.
Why do you always say cash around? Because, okay, let's be honest. The average person swipes that credit card. At the end of the month, what happens? Oh fuck! I got a $2,000 credit card bill. Now I gotta make monthly payments on this shit. Now you're getting yourself in debt. If you only have $100 in your pocket, that's all you can spend.
Right.
And that's where we got fucked up at. Jonas, thank you so much, brother. This has been very entertainment, man.
Cheers again.
Power to freaking the empowerment of life, to your mass empowerment project, to foster the people, just ultimately to just being better people, man.
Right.
And like I said, I've learned a lot about you, man. And I definitely want you on my podcast and more.
I would love to come back more, and because I know that it is a tongue twister. It's the Mass Empowerment Project, or what it's become is the Me Project.
I like
and it's
it.
not, and it's me as in me, and you as in you,
Yeah.
me. You know.
Me as
so,
me.
so the
Me,
thing is,
me.
it's about if you're going to gain mass empowerment by first empowering you, and then try your best to live as an example, so that somebody wants to follow it. Popularize empowerment.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do. Instead, demonize disempowerment.
True.
Anything that's
so true.
disempowering you, cast
Cut it
that
to
aside. Embrace yourself. You know what I mean?
That's
If you
true.
start encountering people that are already on that level, it becomes really easy to recognize them. Like we were just saying, meeting you the other day, and the fact that you were able to watch a video and just be like, I know I want to talk to this guy.
That's exactly
You
correct.
sense it. I sense it. And it's weird because I listened to a lot of lectures in the morning, and it was talking about you are going to attract the people that you need. And there is a reason that I met you.
You were 10,000% correct. And like I said, the Mass Empowerment Project is a great project, buddy. And like I said, I love the fact that you're like me in a sense where we're nurturing people to, like you said, take care of yourself.
Right.
Take care of me first.
Right.
And empower yourself to get educated, to get more informed. And like I said, Foster the People podcast is educating people how to become better, how to become accountable, how to get finances, how to build assets, how to build legacies. How can they get a hold of you?
The best way right now as most of my videos are on my Facebook page, which is the Mass Empowerment Project, and also the Me Project. The Me Project has some more recent stuff. The Mass Empowerment Project, that's the older stuff. But that's like back when I was running for president.
Yeah.
Like instead of me going in, like I was trying to convince everybody to go in and write in their own name as
Right.
an act of rebellion against the system, because none of these people have the legitimate right to rule over any of us.
No.
We've allowed it through years of not knowing anything else or not trying anything else.
Education.
Yes.
Right?
And like we were saying when I was talking earlier about like being able to fund things voluntarily, you can have, if you want to have a government that to make you feel safer, sure you can have it, but the role is different. It has to truly be a service.
That is
You
so true.
cannot be having people sucking off of the teat
There you go.
of everybody else's hard work.
No, you're
Then
totally
you
correct.
set up
there.
a system at that particular point that breeds people that are corrupt coming into it. It attracts them like moths to a flame. Like,
Yep.
oh, this is where I got everything on.
Well, Jonas, like I said, I just want to say thank you again so much for being here, man, and tell
Thank
us
you for
about the
having me.
Mass Empowerment Project. And most of all, guys, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. This is Foster the People podcast. Once again, I'm Dan Freitag. Please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. We're around. We've been doing this, and we're just here to help you get more intelligent, all right? Stay blessed. We'll see you guys real soon.